Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Horse Guy Mike podcast. I'm your host, Horse Guy Mike. Joining with me tonight, my good friend, Johnny the Wire. How are you doing?
Hey, Horse Guy Mike, doing great. Triple Crown's been rough, but I guess if you notice behind me, I've got a new setup here. So I'm in the new apartment, the new office / bedroom, work from home studio. So I'm ready to rock, man. Ready to finally pick some winners for the Belmont.
Yeah, new apartment, new mojo for betting.
Bingo! I love
Let's hit it. So we're going to talk tonight about the pick 5 for Belmont Stakes Day. A lot of good stakes races. There's been some drama about some small fields, but I think there's still good opportunity to make some money here. With these stakes races, you got a lot of good superstar horses running up against each other. A lot of graded stakes winners facing off. So with all that being said, we're going to jump right in, go through the late pick 5, starting with race 7. Race 7, we have the Ogden Phipps, mile and a 16th for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Heavy favorite, Latruska. John, where did you land on this race? Latruska won it last year. Are you going back to her?
I am going back to her. You kind of teased it at the beginning there. There's a lot of small fields on Saturday for this Belmont card. But I think it's looking chalky. The forecast looks chalky. How does the rain forecast look, by the way? I haven't.
It was rainy earlier in this week. Let's see if it's cleared up or not.
All right. While you look that up, I will say yes, Latruska. She's gonna be my top pick yet again. All this horse does is win. She's got 19 wins and 25 career starts. $2.9 million in earnings. So if she hits, even if she hits the board, she's going over $3 million in earnings in this race. A 5-horse field, like we said. And the key is, I think she's a potential single. And the key is, I think there's really no early speed again. Latruska, it's just one race after another, except for the Breeders' Cup. She's able to find herself on a lead, and usually a pretty easy lead, where she is controlling the pace from out of the gate and then into the first turn. Well, sorry, there's only one turn on this race, but out of the gate, she's always been able to control the pace. I think I know what you're going to say to counter that argument, but I think Latruska is going to get it again. I think she's going to get at least a 1-length lead out there. And when she does that and, her ears are flopping around and she's feeling good, she's very tough to beat. So I think Latruska, potential single. I think if you're going to play a small ticket for a lot of money, maybe like a $2 pick 5, I think you can get away with singling her. But I do have one other horse I would play as a B horse.
All right. So I did just check the weather. It's 30% chance of rain during the day. So
okay, so we're good.
We'll see.
Good.
It's probably good. I kind of agree on Latruska. And here's what I was thinking with the pace scenario. And I'm torn between using one or two horses here, because the pace scenario is going to be the Ortiz brothers. Who's riding who? You got
Jose's on Latruska.
Jose's on Latruska.
He's ridden her. So Irad used to ride Latruska, and then he lost that Breeders' Cup distaff with her. So this year, Jose's been riding her. He's 2 for 2. They're looking like a good match.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a good match for any jockey, whoever's on top.
So Jose is on Latruska, and Irad is on my other horse, Search Results. They're the only two early speeds. They're not going to kill each other up front. They're just going to set an easy pace going 1-2. They'll turn for home 1-2, going 24-48, and they'll just power home. I think Latruska will probably win. The 2 pounds I don't think is going to be a big issue with 2 pounds over Search Results. Search Results does have a lot of potential though. She got a 96 buyer in her last race at Belmont. It was on a muddy track, so if there is a little bit of moisture in the track, that's another angle we can look at. And she won it in hand, won by 3 lengths, got a 96 buyer. Their Brisnet speed figures are even closer. I want to say
it's a 96. I got the Brisnet. It's Latruska got 96. Search Results actually did better. She got a 98.
Yeah. So it's not like Latruska is head and shoulders above where Search Results is at now. Search Results came back off her long layoff at Aqueduct. Didn't like the track that day. It was her first race since August. Kind of draw a line through that. Needed to get the rust off. Came back in Belmont. One turn mile. Won it easily. So she's running the exact same race, a 1-turn mile at Belmont. She has
this one's a mile 16th, man.
Mile 16th, but it's a 1 turn. So
Yeah.
I think I don't feel confident singling Latruska. I think she's a top pick. I gotta include search results, and I know it's stupid. Like you see a vulnerable favorite in a small field, you should throw them out, but it's going to be one of these two horses, and I don't think that the other three, who are all closers, are going to have a chance here because the pace is going to be slow up top with the Ortiz brothers just kind of walking it around.
Okay, so you clearly like the pace scenario that I laid out, where Latruska's on an easy lead, because if Irad goes up to press her, that's going to naturally speed them both up, which I thought has a potential to happen. But I think your scenario is probably the most likely. His brother's going to sit off of Latruska and then try to make a run late. Because really, if he goes too early, then you set it up for the horses coming from the back, right? Like if he presses the pace too soon, maybe, okay, you put Latruska away, but then did you open the door for Malathot to come and get you, right? And so I think that scenario is what I also think could happen. And so I think Malathot's actually my B horse for that reason. I think if there is like a pace pressure by Irad on search results, and she does heat up the pace, then I think Malathot, it opens the door, because this race actually might be too short for her at 1 1/16, right? She likes 1 1/8, maybe even 1 1/4. But it's kind of an interesting spot for Pletcher to bring her back. I think she had a better race than it looked in her last one at Keeneland. So Malathot came off first off the layoff. She won. She only got a 94 speed figure in the double dog dare, grade 3 at Keeneland. Only won by 3/4 of a length. But if you look at the fractions, like that was a slow pace that day. And she was like 9 lengths behind the pace at the first call. So she really had to work just to get around that field, and she did. So that to me is like, if she can get a hot pace now in front of her, and there's going to be no traffic troubles with only 5 horses, like she's going to be the one I think that can run late. Belmont has a big stretch. So that's why I might use Malathot as a B, but I think your pace scenario is what happens, and I think Latruska kicks away and then holds off Malathot to win it.
Yeah,
and I think search results. I got search results finishing third. Like I might play an ice cold exacta box like that.
See, I think Malathot is the worst horse in this field. Surprise ending. So here's the thing: looking at the figures here, search results actually has better late speed than Latruska. So if they're close when they hit the stretch, search results is going to outpower Latruska. Latruska's only chance is to kind of make the move early around the turn. Hope search results isn't close enough.
That's what she does. That's what she does when she gets those easy leads, though. That's when she really she'll kick it on in the turn and then put some space there.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Like come and get me.
If search results can stay close enough, she might be able to run her down the stretch. But if I'm looking for a closer in this race, I'm going to go with Clairiere. She has a way better late speed figures than Malathot. Malathot's typically closer to the pace, but Clairiere has that turn of foot. And you saw her; she almost ran down Latruska in that last race. She got a 101 buyer for that. And
it was a good run. It was a good run by Clairiere.
Yeah, and I think she's a little bit more in form. Malathot had that one race off layoff. It was fine, 88 buyer, but she needed to get that rust off too. But now she's facing the toughest field she's faced since the Breeders' Cup. I think Clairiere is in a better form. It has a better turn of foot if the pace does heat up. But again, I don't see that happening. I think it's a 2-horse race. I think Malathot probably finishes 4th or 5th. Even Bonnie South. Even Bonnie South. No. Even Bonnie South, who almost got Malathot. She's carrying way less weight. She's carrying 118.
Almost got her. Like, didn't Malathot run away from Bonnie South?
No, Bonnie South was closing. Bonnie South was 4th when they hit the stretch. Malathot was 2nd.
Oh, okay.
And she only finished.
Malathot held her off.
But not even a length ahead, and she's carrying 6 less pounds.
Like I said, it was
Bonnie South, 6 less pounds. That's significant. So
Malathot has 7 wins in 9 career starts. 3 of those wins are grade 1s from last year.
They're restricted.
She also finished 2nd by a head in a grade 1, and then in the Breeders' Cup she got 3rd by a half length, and she ran up the bad side of the track in that Breeders' Cup. She would have won that Breeders' Cup if she was outside. She ran up the rail that was dead that day. and she got a 108 speed figure for that. Like if she gets back to what her A game, oh, second off a layoff, like come on, man, Molotov, dude,
I think she'll
worst
like
horse in the race, man. You're gonna be fired up over here.
She'll like longer. She'll be better later this year. She's the worst pick for this race. I should have said that.
For this, you mean like this scenario?
Yeah, this race, this
Okay.
scenario, she was
I don't
the
see it,
worst choice. Bonnie South, who almost beat her, is getting a 6 pound weight advantage on it. I'd get her at what price am I getting?
You get the price is going to be better for sure. Molotov's 5-2. Bonnie South is 8-1.
Yeah. So if you're going to give me that, I'm going to take Bonnie South like 9 times out of 10.
All right. Well, I mean, what's your ticket going to look like? Is it?
I'm going too deep. No, I'm going Latruska and search results.
I mean, I think I taught myself into picking Molotov too. So throw the B horse in there.
All right.
Latruska and Molotov for me.
Okay, perfect. Moving on to race 8, the Jaipur, 6 furlongs on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. Turf sprint. These races are wide open when Golden Pal's not involved. So really just throwing darts at the wall here, John. Who'd you land on for your top pick?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking like, man, these turf sprints this year have been just total crapshoots, really. And that's a good point because Golden Pal is like by far the best, and everyone else is just kind of in that second tier. So we have how many, like 12 second tier, 13 second tier horses in here. So here's the thing with the Jaipur, man. I'm going deep in it. I'm going 4 deep on my A horses, and then I have 3 B horses. I think you could also play, so up to 7 deep. But we'll just talk about the A horses. The thing about Belmont is that it's on the outside turf, and it's a 6 furlong sprint. So it's a long turf sprint. And I don't think people think about that as much. Like an extra half of a furlong is 110 yards. It's a whole football field. So even going from 5.5 to 6, you're talking about a whole football field more of room to run. So in these races, I like to look at late runners. So I don't really have a top pick per se, but I have like a group of horses I like. And the 3 late runners that I landed on are all to the outside. It's going to be the 10 Smokin' J, the 12 Gear Jockey, and the 13 Gregorian Chant.
Only one I liked there was Gregorian Chant. I faded those other 2.
Well, we can get into why. And then, so the 4th A horse I have is a kind of a front runner. It's going to be Arrest Me Red. He's probably the chalk for Wesley Ward, the 5 horse.
Yeah, he's 5-2 favorite.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of a short favorite in a huge field. You know, hopefully he stays there, maybe even goes up a little bit. I don't think he's like I don't think he's like got this field hand over fist because like I said, he's coming off a 5.5 furlong turf sprint where he got first, but he's gonna have to extend a whole nother football field, and he's kind of a front runner, so he might get tired and might get caught at the wire, you know.
The thing that I think Arrest Me Red is almost worthy of being a single, because there's only 3 EPs in this race. Arrest Me Red, who got 100 buyer last out. You got True Valor, who's 12-1, 8-year-old, and then Chasing Artie, a 15-1. So
you're thinking it might be actually a slow pace for.
Yeah, Arrest Me Red's gonna get on the lead. I don't think he's lost since he went to Wesley Ward. He had 1 loss. He got 3rd, where he didn't get on the lead. But last race in the turf sprint at Churchill, he wasn't on the lead till they hit the turn or they got to the stretch, and he powered home. So he's not just a one style like needs the lead, but I think he will get on the lead because there's not a lot of pace here. So 100 buyer last out.
Yeah.
Not consistent 90+ buyers, 100 buyer last year at Belmont. On a 6 furlong turf, same jockey, same track, everything. He's again, like if I was gonna single this race, it'd be him easily. But I'm not because it's a turf sprint and anything can happen, like you said. Yeah. But I think he's that good.
It's one of those, if you want to play a secondary ticket where you single him, you could get like double value. Like let's say, like you could play the 2 horses you like in the first race and then have a ticket where he's singled. So you're almost doubling up if he wins. I think that would be a smart play.
Yeah, I like it. So, all right. So you had the 3 on the outside. I liked Arrest Me Red. I also liked, who do we got here? Definitely not that horse.
So why you look like Smoking Jay? You said you
Oh,
didn't like this horse, right?
yeah, I didn't like Smoking Jay. He doesn't win. He hasn't won since September, and he's been in
Yeah,
one,
but
two, three, four, 5 races since then.
yeah, I guess I just look like he won his only turf sprint at 6 furlongs, and it was at Belmont last September.
He
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 got
just
up to
doesn't.
win by a head. He's a late runner. It's one of those things. Like, is he going to bring a late run at 15 to 1? What's he at? Yeah, he's 15 to 1. I think it's worth a shot because I think he likes the long turf sprints because his last two have been at exactly 5 furlongs, so he's getting 200 more yards of room to run. And in both of those races, he's finished. Like he's closed the gap down the stretch, but he's ran out of room. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
who knows, man. Maybe he's feeling good,
to
gets a
me,
little
it's
bit more
like
room.
he's getting a jockey that's never ridden him with a horse that doesn't like to win, doing poor workouts, and he doesn't have like strong late pace figures either. He's just like a middle runner, and he
Yeah.
closed at that weak ungraded turf sprint at Pimlico, and so I'm not going to take a horse that's running in a 100K stakes race at Pimlico.
So you don't like the class angle on him.
He's poor class. There's no consistent we see with the jockeys. Like Jose rode him last time. Why isn't he riding him this time? Oh wait, because he's on another horse that I really like. And I'll just go ahead and say it. It's the one right to his inside, the 9 horse, Filo di Aranya. This is my bomb for the weekend, 20 to 1. And looking at that angle, why is Jose riding this horse?
I think I overlooked that one. I see what you're seeing.
Yeah, why is Jose riding this horse if he was on Smoking Jay last time? So he was a Brazilian horse as a 3-year-old. Took a year off, ran a race at Woodbine as a 5-year-old, won it, got a 95
But
buyer.
that's a 7 furlong turf sprint at Woodbine. That's a 1 turn. That's like it's gonna be similar to what he's running.
Yeah, won that. Nice. Something happened. Went back to layoff, coming off layoff at Keeneland in a stacked field, like you said, had Golden Pal, had all that. Just draw a line through that. So if you draw a line through that 63
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you draw, I overlooked this horse. If you draw a line through that one, he's 4 for 4.
Yeah, and look at his workouts. 59, 59, 47. This horse.
Oh, that's a good pick. This horse is live.
This is a bomb that I'm throwing in here. So
yep.
That's
20 to 1. Yeah, 20 to. There's no way he's going off at 20 to 1 because people are going to see. Yeah, if you cross off that one, the last one, he's 4 for 4, and he had a really good speed figure in that allowance win. Good pick.
Thank you. I'm diving deep. All right. So
I like I like that he won it in a long turf sprint. So that means to me he wants the distance.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking for. That's my angle for these ones.
Yeah, and then I'm also going to go inside to him again with the number 8 horse Scuttlebuzz, who's coming off 3 straight wins.
Yeah, I had him written down as a B.
Yeah, 2 allowance races and an ungraded stakes race at Belmont, a 7 furlong at Belmont. It's a New York horse. He's running the circuit, beating these horses. 101 buyer last out. It's incredible. And how
he's actually run an open company the last 4 times, and like you said, he's on a 3-race win streak.
Yeah, he's keeping Castellano on board.
He's won. It looks good on the paper for sure. Yeah. Three straight wins.
Yeah. So
and he loves the distance. He's got 8 runs, 6 firsts, and 2 seconds at 6 furlongs.
Yeah. So those are my horses. I think I'll probably throw Casa Creed in here too. Just give me an even 5, just because Casa Creed's kind of a question mark for me. He won this race last year, and then he fired a couple.
Form.
But I mean, he won this race last year. He was putting up good numbers. He had a 105 in that race. He fired it back with a 100. Lost 97, 99 in the Breeders' Cup Mile. So he's classy. He's facing Breeders' Cup level horses and putting up good speed figures. Went to Saudi Arabia, went to Dubai, raced against tough horses there, and is coming back. Yeah. Anything can happen. I mean, a 6-year-old turf sprinter that's racing against the best of the best. It's not a horse I want to leave off. Getting Luis Syez, who rode him overseas.
I remember that Jaipur last year. Did he run up the rail?
He was almost. He came from out of the clouds. Yeah, he came out of the clouds. He was
that's the type of run I want to see. I don't know if I'm going to pick the same horse to do it twice.
I mean, he has the best late speed in the field. He has a 109 time form late speed. So I don't think anyone else has anywhere close to that.
So he's going to be going last to first, maybe.
Yeah, so if a Rest Me Red doesn't go wire to wire, set it up perfectly for Casa Creed to come in.
Well, I want to talk about Gregorian Chant. This is a horse I've watched over at Santa Anita, and this horse loves the downhill sprint. Like, he is really good at that. And that is all about like getting position. Not, you don't necessarily have to be in the back of the field, but like, you got to keep it somewhat close, and then he just hits that, like, it's almost like a rocket ship flying off. But that's on the downhill, so that's kind of a weird because I think horses get to save their energy when they run downhill. So it's kind of interesting. I think he's worth a look at the 6 furlong on the flat, because he does win at 6 furlongs. I guess he ran in this race last year. Now that I look at it, he ran totally different. He was up on near the lead and then faded. It looks like Luis Syez was on him last year and totally changed his running style. So how about we cross a line through that 7th place last year? And, you know, this horse is getting a lot of firsts and thirds. So I think Gregorian Chant, he's got Rosario. You know, I think he's worth a look there.
Yeah, I have him. So I have 4, 5, 8, 9, 13. What are the ones that you're including?
And I also included Gear Jockey. I don't know why.
I mean, he's.
I feel like I always like this horse on the sheets, and he hasn't really run that great now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, he's had 3 races this year, and they've all been just duds.
Yeah.
It's because he had a huge race at Kentucky Downs last year, and everyone was impressed by that. But Kentucky Downs is just like a weird track.
Yeah, he got the 6 furlongs. That was his best speed figure, won by 2.5. I'm still going to use him because I can't let him. It's just one of those, I can't let him beat me. So if I add in your horse, which was the 9, I have the 5, 9, 10, 12, and 13. So I'm 5 deep.
Okay, perfect. We're both five deep. I'm including Casa Creed. Yeah. All right, moving on. This will be the shortest one we talk about here in a second. Race 9.
The longest one because it's the best horse.
Race 9, the Met Mile. 1 mile, 1 turn race for 3-year-olds and up. Superstar
for
horse.
One horse. Let's be real. It's for one horse.
Superstar horse coming up. The number 1 horse, Flightline. We're both singling him.
Yep.
Has won his 3 races by
It's almost comical. It's almost comical. Read off the buyers on that.
Yeah, 105, 114, 118. He had a workout this week at 46 seconds. 59 seconds, 59 seconds. Yeah, I mean,
he's been ready to run for like a month and a half. Like,
I mean, I see what people say against him. Like, he's lightly raced because he can never stay sound. He's never run outside of California. He's never faced like good horses. The best horse he beat is Stiletto Boy at 7 furlongs, and Stiletto Boy is not a sprinter anymore.
Baby Yoda's pretty good.
No, he's not. Baby Yoda had like 1 good race where he threw up like a huge buyer, and people were like, "Oh man, this is such a good horse," and then he just sucked every single race after that. But yeah, so we're both singling Flightline. The only horse in here worth mentioning is the Speaker's Corner, who is excellent and is, if Flightline wasn't in the Speaker's Corner, it'd be the easiest single of the weekend as well. And it's unfortunate they have to go up against each other.
I think Jackie's Warrior would be racing if Flightline wasn't in here.
That's true. I don't know who I'd pick between Speaker's Corner and Jackie's Warrior. I don't know which of them I'd actually pick. Probably Speaker's Corner, honestly.
But he's not. So
but he's facing Flightline. And here's the thing too. Like, I'd rather single Flightline, and then if during at the time we're live, I can just play like a saver bet on Speaker's Corner, do something to hedge with exotics with him on top, because he'll be a better price than Flightline will be.
He's 8-5, so I mean he's actually got really good value for as good of a horse as he is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just place like a single win bet on him to cover the cost of my pick 5 in case that.
The crazy scenario is if Junior Alvarado tests Flightline early and they both burn each other out, and then like Aloha West comes flying in and wins it.
And I don't. That's
like the doomsday scenario.
I guess that happened last year in the Met Mile with Knicks Go.
It did. Yep.
And then Silver Prospector came in, or Silver State.
Silver State
came in and won that race. So Anything can happen. It's a funky race, but I think Flightline's just gonna.
I think the play is you single Flightline. He might be the best horse we've seen in like a generation. If he's healthy, if he keeps improving, which he's done every race. Like if you look at his finish, he's won by 13 lengths, 12 lengths, 11 lengths. Like it's comical what he's been doing out in on the West Coast. And yeah, I mean, he looks amazing. His workouts have been amazing. I think he's been a little bit babied too much. He's been bubble wrapped a little too much for my liking. I wish Sadler would be running him for his like workout. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, run him in one prep race and then run him in the Churchill Downs Sprint and then run him in the Met Mile. And maybe you only have like one, you know, workout in between or something. But
yeah,
whatever. He's here in the Met Mile, and it's his 4th career race, and he might be the best.
Yep, absolutely. So we're both singling the one Flightline here. All right, moving on to race 10. The Manhattan Grade 1 going 1.25 miles on the turf, inner turf. This is a great race. We have one of our favorite horses, Gufo, coming in here. John, are you singling Gufo?
Not singling him, but I'm definitely using him.
Okay.
Last time out in the Man of War, got upset by Highland Chief, like 20-1, just a total backbreaker. Because I had a lot of stuff riding on Gufo, because you know we love him from Gulfstream. He's a Gulfstream Park killer down there. He's the big man on campus down here in Florida. And some horse named Highland Chief stole it wire to wire. But Gufo in that race, he beat Ibir on the square. So, and everyone, you know, Ibir was like the turf horse of the year last year. So Gufo is carrying some really good class, I would say. So you definitely got to use him. I think he's a logical favorite. Is he the favorite? Let's check that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is the favorite. So he's the logical favorite, but he is beatable. You know, he doesn't always win. So I think there's other ways you got to go. And the one I'm going with is my hero from Churchill Downs, Kentucky Derby Day. Our guy, his bobblehead's back over my shoulder. Gaff on turf, Santine. We're dipping back in the well. I almost hit the Kentucky Derby pick 4 because of this guy. We'll talk about Rich Strike next and how he ruined my life. But Santine made it awesome for a good solid hour waiting for the Kentucky Derby. Upset win in that Turf Classic at 7-1 last time. He looked great doing it. I mean, he really got after it. And him and the other horse, Mirror Mission, were 6 lengths ahead of Adamo. So I don't really see Adamo turning the tables on him, all things being equal. I think Santine, he's 4 years old. He's only going to get better off of that race. You would hope so. So yeah, Santine and Gufo. I'm going 2 deep in this one. That's it.
All right.
Fading all the Chad Browns. Chad has 4 horses.
Chad has 4 horses.
Got 4.
Here's the funny thing. I love both your horses as well. I'm also fading every single Chad Brown horse, but I am including 2 other horses, and one is Highland Chief.
Okay, so you're going to double dip on the long shot.
You can't ignore what he did. I mean, he got a 105 buyer in that race, and he didn't go wire to wire. He was in second until he hit the stretch.
He essentially did. He was in second by a half length. So
yeah,
it was him and some other horse.
But it wasn't like he was
slow.
It wasn't like he was just on. I mean, they went slow, but he still came home fast. Like his late speed figure was a 125. So he's not even a front runner. That's not his style. His style is late running, and he would just happen to be close to the pace. And since he's such a powerful late runner, no one could catch him in the stretch because he was so close. So if you look at his PPs, you know, he raced over in Great Britain. He wasn't great. Came over here, new trainer, Graham Motion, runs him in Aqueduct one time. You know, he was too far back, couldn't make up any ground in the stretch. Runs him again and just dominates. So what do you draw a line through? Do you draw a line through that Man of Moore and say this was a fluke, he'll never do it? Or do you draw a line through that allowance race and say this was his first time running in America, this was his first time, you know, with a new trainer? You know, what's the outlier here? So I'm not going to let him beat me, especially, you know,
I think it's the grade 1 race that he won at 19-1 odds. I think that was the outlier.
and potentially could be. But I want a little bit of action
I
on
think
him
he got
here.
I think he got the dream pace scenario of his life. But hey, good for him. He got it done.
That's true. And the other horse I'm going to include here, Channel Maker.
Oh God.
Old man Channel Maker, 8-year-old gelding. He's still got it. John, he won the Elkhorn. He got a 98 buyer, won the grade 2 Elkhorn at Keeneland. Beat some good horses that day. I think he's still got it, and he'll be close to the pace. He'll be close to the pace too, because okay, so Tribuvan is the pace setter here.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen with the pace, man? Because I see 4 horses that want to be out near the lead.
So yeah, I think Tribuvan, Highland Chief,
El Emperador, the one horse is a Chad Brown, sneaky pace presence. Because if you look, that horse never wins, and then all of a sudden they changed his running style last time out, put him on the lead, and he won by 3 lengths, which is a big win for a grade 2. I mean, to win by 3 lengths, like
yeah.
He's one that if he got out on an easy lead, I would be scared of him because that's Chad Brown coming off a big win like that.
Yeah, but that was also like slow pace. Like they went 52, 119. That was a long like
Yeah,
mile
that's how these horses do it, man. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, what's the pace gonna? Is anyone? No one's gonna get that easy of a pace on the lead in this race.
So Tribuvan's going to go to the front. He's the fastest, but we've seen that he's past his prime now. He's going to go to the lead. He might try to set it up for the other Chad's going slow, but Channel Maker's not going to
second, man.
Channel Maker. Yeah, Channel Maker's not going to let him
do that. But also Highland Chief likes to go second.
But
so only one of those two are going to get blocked out.
So you're looking at Highland Chief and the Emperor are the exact same. They're not front runners, but they just happen to be close to the pace on those days because no one was pushing. So that's not their style. They were running against their style that day. So I think Santin is going to be close to the pace. Channel Maker is going to be close to the pace. And Tribuvan is going to be setting the pace. So I think it's going to be Tribuvan at first, with Channel Maker and Santin in second and third, and then Highland Chief and Emperor.
I think Highland Chief. I think they're going to try to get Highland Chief up near the lead again because he just won a grade 1 doing that. And I think this pace is going to be a little bit faster than all of those horses have ran in their last one, like El Imperator, Tribuvan, Channel Maker, Highland Chief. I think this has a potential to really cook up on the pace, and that's why I really like Gufo. And I'm going to use Santin because I think Santin, to your point, I think he'll be up there. But I know in Gaffleone, he will have him on the rail, but like off the early pace. If he sees a couple horses going after it, he'll just put Santin in third or fourth on the rail, and then let them go after it, and then go and try to run them down.
I mean, I think Santin's the perfect choice for this race because he'll be close enough to the pace, but has that late running style to win. He's the perfect choice. Gufo is obviously like super talented. But yeah,
I don't think Chad has I don't think Chad brought his A list like that.
They're all running earlier.
Adamo just doesn't win,
Yeah, all of his A horses are running in the Just a Game or whatever that early one is, and they're running on Friday in the other turf race, and they're all fillies. So
yeah,
that's who I'm going with 2, 8, 9, 10 here, going 4 deep.
I'm going what's Gufo 2?
2.
I'm going 2, 9, 2 deep.
2, 9. All right.
Hoping the pace burns each other out, and then we just go with the 2 good late runners there. Get it done.
All right, sounds good. Moving on to the big race, race 11, the Belmont Stakes, 1.5 miles for 3-year-olds. John, Rich Strike, are you singling him?
No, Rich Strike ruined my life by what he did in the Kentucky Derby. I was supposed to win 1.3K, Mike, and I haven't really won anything since then. So thank you, Rich Strike. Put me in a deeper hole than I should be. No, he's gonna finish dead last in this race. Come on, he's I mean, what do you want me to say about him? Like, he won an optional maiden claimer for 30, then got no better than third, and then won the Kentucky Derby. Like, it's an absolute joke. I hate this horse. I hate Ethereal Road for scratching. Keen Ice. Oh, he's by Keen Ice. Trivia question, horse guy Mike. Who did Keen Ice upset in his life?
American Pharoah on the Travers.
Boom. So maybe the Keen Ice thing, they have one big upset in them. You know what I mean? Like, they have their one day, and that was Rich Strike's one day. So
So off our ticket,
No.
off ticket.
Toss him. Don't use him. 7-2 is a joke. He should be 30-1. No, just no. If he wins the Belmont, then whatever. I'll let him beat me again. So my top pick. Do you want my top pick? It might shock you.
Yeah, give me your top pick.
I'm going with. I know I was talking up Mo Donegal in the chat in our group text, but I'm going with the other Pletcher, Nest.
Oh,
the Philly
okay.
in the Belmont. I love it, man. I was looking at her PPs and I'm like, why is this horse in the Belmont? You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason Pletcher. Have you ever seen Pletcher take a filly to the Belmont? I'm sure he's done it before.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head either, but yeah, I'm sure he does it because he's wild like that.
The Philly move is going from the Oaks to the Preakness, right? We see that a lot. I don't ever see the Oaks to the Belmont. Like, what filly is running 1.5 miles?
I mean, she's a Curlin, so yeah.
That was another point. She's by Curlin. Curlins love to run long. Curlins are also they're immaculately bred. A lot of them are like grade 1 athletes. She obviously is. She won the Ashland by 8 lengths. If you really look at that Kentucky Oaks, like, she ran into the pace. It was a very hot pace. And she ran into it at the second call, which is the 6 furlong mark. So you can see she went from 4.5 lengths back to 1.5 lengths back. I think she made her move too early in that race. And I think
she got trapped on the inside. That's what happened in that race. Okay. Yeah.
So, but she still grinded it out for second place. And, Secret Oath ran a banger of a race. But looking at the PPs, like, Nest ran an awesome race that day.
Yeah, I mean, Nest was my top pick that day, and she should have won, but she ran into traffic. Like, she's better than Secret Oath. I'll take that to my grave that she's better than Secret Oath. Secret Oath avoided traffic and swung outside. Okay. Nest.
So I mean,
was inside.
I mean, in an 8-horse Belmont where you have 1.5 miles, like, the traffic should not be a problem. And I actually think, like, looking at the early pace on a lot of these horses, she might be in second place tracking right next to We the People, and We the People is your 2-1 favorite. And it's like, do you want We the People, going all the way around for 1.5 miles? He very well could. But I think Nest is, like, immaculately bred. Pletcher's got her in here for a reason, going 1.5 miles. She's going to get an easier trip. She had a sneaky, awesome race in the Kentucky Oaks. Like, Nest might be the star, the superstar we've been waiting for. So I'm going with Nest. I mean, single her, maybe get crazy with it.
Okay.
Probably won't single her, but
you're like, why is Nest in this field? And I think you answered your own question. She's going to be close to the pace. No one else in this race is going to be close.
That's not why she's in the field.
No. Like, but she's good enough to be in this field. But
there's 2 reasons. She either Pletcher loves her, and Pletcher's like, she can win the Belmont because of, I think she's probably a big horse, like, has a long stride, all that. Or she's owned by Rapoli Stable. That's Mike Rapoli. He founded Body Armor. So he's like a billionaire. Maybe he just wants to, he's like, oh man, we got a horse that could potentially win the Belmont. Like, let's throw her in. So that would be kind of the iffy, like, maybe she shouldn't be here.
And to me, there's no pace in this race besides We the People. Skippy Longstockings is maybe, but I think that horse is terrible. And Pletcher's best hope in this race is Mo Donegal. Mo Donegal is excellent. And he saw, okay, this race is turning up light. There's only one real speed horse in this race, We the People. I'm going to put Nest in there. Because one of 2 things happens. Nest either sets it up for
Pletcher is thinking about the pace scenario like a month in advance. You know what I mean?
I think he is, because he was prepping for this day no matter what. Because he could have put her in the Acorn if things didn't turn out how he wanted.
True. Okay.
So he always knew today's date was the target. And he was like, okay, let me see how these races stack up, because the Belmont's a much bigger deal. Like, even getting 3rd in the Belmont is a much better outcome than getting first
absolutely.
Than getting first in the Acorn. So he saw this race come up light. He's like, okay, we're just going to go for the Belmont. And it's like, one of 2 things happens. Either she finishes 2nd or 3rd because she's that good, or maybe even 1st, or she pushes the pace fast enough to where Mo Donegal can sneak up and win. So I think she does have a chance. She can't be top choice for me. She can win. I think she can. But looking at her speed figures, like even in her Ashland, which was her best race where she dominated completely, she won by 8 lengths, 92. If you look at We the People, who won by 10 lengths, he got a 103 last out. So similar scenarios where they had both cleared their field, they were in hand, and We the People had an 11-point buyer over her.
Yeah, but you're not even counting the Kentucky Oaks. Like,
no, but I'm not. The Kentucky Oaks was fine, but she ran the traffic trouble, so I'm not calling it her best race.
What was her buyer in that race? Though?
It was a 91.
Oh,
so
91.
she ran it. She ran in the
on the Brisnets. It's a 101. On the Brisnets, it's like that's faster than Mo Donegal got in the Kentucky Derby.
And Mo Donegal ran a terrible Kentucky Derby, which is why he's not my
top
pick.
He got fit and he was running late. What do you mean he ran terrible?
That Kentucky Derby set up perfect for Mo Donegal, and he should have won. He should have been the Rich Strike. He has better late.
He was 10 wide, Mike. 10 wide.
Mo Donegal should have won that race. But anyway, I digress. Ness cannot be my top choice. I might include her on my ticket if I decide to go 4 deep. She's my 4th horse. My top choice in this race is going to be We the People, just from the pace standpoint. He'll be alone on the lead. Flavian Pratt did this last year with Hot Rod Charlie, and he almost went wire to wire, except he ran into Essential Quality, who was a superstar. There's no Essential Quality in this race. Pratt's going to go wire to wire with no good horse pushing. Ness might push, Skippy Longstocking might push, but they're not.
This is a very good horse. What are you talking about?
They're not superstars, though. Like, if you look at what Essential Quality did last year and compare that to what Nest did, like, Nest is an excellent filly, and she'll probably be the best 3-year-old filly this year. But she's not good enough to face the top tier of the boys. And so We the People is going to get an easy lead. Pratt's going to go wire to wire, and that's what's going to happen. The only horse that I think has a legit shot at beating We the People is Creative Minister. And Creative Minister is excellent. Got 3rd in the Preakness, and if either of those 2 horses that finished ahead of him were in this race, they'd be even money or lower, right? If Epicenter,
if voting in Epicenter, they'd obviously be the favorites. Yeah,
they'd be like 4 to 5 or even money. Or
I mean,
6
he
to
was
5.
well back of them, but he did run a nice Preakness. They did the right thing by paying the 150 grand because I'm sure he probably made more than it, right?
Yeah, he made it back. He beat Secret Oath like right on the jaw. You know, Secret Oath and Creative Minister were squared up when they hit the stretch. He just outfinished her. Like, there was no excuse for either of them, and he just soundly beat her. No excuses. He got a solid 3rd behind the 2 best 3-year-olds in the country.
You said Nest was better than.
I do think Nest is better.
So,
I do think Nest is better.
So Nest is better than Creative Minister. Boom.
No, because they're both better than Secret Oath, but is Nest good enough to beat Creative Minister?
Yes.
We'll see. I think Creative Minister's only issue is that
I think you're just mad that I'm picking Nest and she was your Kentucky Oaks pick, and you didn't see that coming. You're like, you're stealing my girl, John.
She was my Kentucky Oaks picks, which should show you that I like this horse a lot and I don't have a bias against it. I think she has a shot here. She's my 4th choice in this race. The only thing knocking Creative Minister is he's running the Triple Crown, but he's not. He ran the race on the undercard of the Derby. You're in the Preakness. He's running the Belmont. It might be a lot for him, but he's got the perfect stalking style. He'll be 2nd or 3rd as they go around the stretch. He's going to try to run down We the People.
I wrote down underneath on Creative Minister. I think I'm going to use him.
I think so too. Trifecta. Yeah, when I do my exotics, I'm going to just single We the People on top, and then just do Creative Minister.
So you think We the People is just going to wire it and?
Yeah, I'm not even.
What he did last time in the Peter Pan.
I really don't have any doubt that that's what's going to happen. I mean,
I have doubts.
For my pick 5, though, I'm just going to play defensively here and do Creative Minister, Nest, and Mo Donegal. Throw Rich Strike out, throw all these other donkeys out, put the top 4 horses in here, so when it comes time to the final race, I can just sit back and relax.
I think We the People at 2 to 1 is kind of crazy, but I get it. I mean, every time he's gotten on or near the lead, he's won. He's 3 for 3. But then in that Arkansas Derby, he was 5th, and he got some kickback, and then he was 7th, 13 lengths off of it.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And I picked him that day, and I rewatched that race a bunch of times. He was like 5 or 6 wide going around the stretch. Like, he wanted the lead, but he was so far out that he was running way farther than everyone else. And so Pratt just took him out. He's like, okay, I'm not going to get the lead. There's nothing we can do. Let's just pull back.
Yeah. So, I mean, he looked logical. Like, I'm going to use him on my ticket. I think the Peter Pan was a little bit better than it. The numbers are a little bit more than what it really was, because like it was a good sealed track that day at Belmont, and I mean he beat Golden Glider was like the number 2 horse in there. I mean that horse is not a threat at all in here.
And he beat him by 10 lengths.
He's 20-1. He's the longest shot on the board. Like, okay, cool. You beat the longest shot by 10 lengths. Like, you'll probably beat him by 10 lengths or more again. So I just think that he was the fastest horse in that Peter Pan. He got out to a 2-length lead, and then it was just like goodbye from there. And it was an off track, so like, no horses were running from behind. They all had mud in their face, and they're just like, they all gave up, and he just he went on and crushed it. Now we'll see if he can do it again. I think you got to use him in your pick 5, obviously.
Yeah, and I don't think
he has the pace advantage.
Yeah, and I don't think he's some kind of superstar. Like I probably won't pick him later on this year unless he blows us away in this field. I think just for this race, it's perfect for him. At a track he's already run at and dominated at, in a pace scenario that sets up perfectly for him in a light field, getting Pratt, who already showed that he could do exactly what we want him to do last year in this race. So
he's logical. He's the logical one. I think Nest also logical. Who was the horse that Bobby Flay bought into?
That's We the People.
Oh, that was We the People? Okay,
yeah.
So because I remember he did that a few years ago with Creator.
Yeah.
And he won. He bought in like late last minute. So We the People he has live.
And he has a rail.
I'll talk about Mo Donegal. Let's talk about Mo Donegal for a little bit. He was the horse going into it I thought I was going to pick, just because for the running lines of he ran down early voting in that Wood Memorial. Remember, early voting got out on an easy lead, and he ran him down. Like it wasn't like early voting. Early voting got a little bit tired, but Mo Donegal had an awesome win. And early voting comes back and wins the Preakness. So now it's obvious, like, oh, well, Mo Donegal will go win the Belmont. I think he's still got a really great shot. I like where Nest is going to be at in the field. And I feel like Nest is in there for a reason, and she's going to be better than Mo Donegal. Like Mo Donegal is one of these horses. He just comes from the clouds. So is he going to be good enough to come from the clouds and run down one of these other horses? It's going to be tough, but I think, he could definitely do it. And if he does it, it's going to be like a no surprise type of situation.
Yeah, I mean, he broke his maiden at Belmont, going a mile and a 16th, where same thing. He was 6th until they hit the stretch, then he was 2nd and just ran him down, won by a length and a half. So he has experience at the track. He knows how to use those turns, Pletcher, Irad. I think Mo Donegal is probably I'm going to lock him underneath in 2nd and 3rd in my exotics, because he'll be running.
For sure. Yeah, he's for sure going to run late. It's just a question of, does he get all the way up to win it?
And I don't think so. I think the Belmont, everyone says the Belmont sets up for closers. I don't think it will. I think We the People is just going to hit the stretch and just like be so far ahead.
It sets up for the horses that are feeling good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't necessarily have to have one running style. As long as you're feeling good, the horse is feeling good and strong and has something left in it. Like, remember that horse Gronkowski? Who did he run behind? Justify, I think.
Yeah, he blew up everyone's trifecta that day.
Yeah, and like he was just grinding. Like he wasn't really a late runner or nothing. He was just kind of grinded, and he was still feeling himself. And he ended up getting 2nd. Yeah, and he blew up all of our exotics.
Yeah.
So maybe a horse like that is, let's throw in my seahorse, Barber Road. He's 10-1. Everyone crapped on this horse in the Kentucky Derby. He was 60-1. He really didn't have a chance to win the Derby, but he got 6th. He does what he does, man. He just grinds it out, and he never stops running. So if you're looking for a horse that can hit the board at a big price, I think Barber Road is the one. Joel Rosario hops on. I think, if you want to get crazy and play him to win, it might be worth like a small bet, small saver bet or something.
All right. I'm not going to talk about how much I hate Barber
Road. With the way Triple Crown has been going, Barber Road winning the Belmont seems like the perfect way to cap it off. But
I think you're absolutely right. If that happens, if Rosario wins a Triple Crown race on Barber Road instead of winning it on Epicenter, that would just
right. That's the icing on the cake.
Just cancel every race for the rest of the year and just restart.
I'm just saying, don't let it. The people out there, if you're watching this, do not let it happen to you. Do not let Barber Road beat you. Rosario on 10-1 shots that run late is the most dangerous thing ever. Because if it happens, you'll be like, my God, I knew it was going to happen. So
All right.
watch out for Barber Road. That's all.
All right. All right. So final picks. I've got 2 tickets. I've got a $5 base and a 50-cent base.
Oh, you got a $5 base, guy.
Yeah. So you convinced me. So for my 50-cent base, I'm going to go 1-5 with 4, 5, 8, 9, 13 with 1 with 2, 8, 9, 10 with 1, 3, 5, 6. That's $80. For my $5 ticket, I'm going 1-5 with 5 with 1 with 2, 9 with 1 for $20. 3 singles.
How much are you all in? What are your 3 singles?
Arrest Me Red, Flightline, and We the People.
Yo, I like that Arrest Me Red single idea. I might do that. Because, like, it's one of those things, like, if he's the best horse, then you just single him and you hope he's the best, right? And he gets it done. And then if he's not the best horse, if he's not the best horse, then it opens it up for all these other horses we were talking about. So it does make sense to put in a second ticket with him single. I think I might do that too.
Yeah.
Let me circle that. All right, so I just went through my ticket, man. I have a $40 ticket for 50 cents. So I'm going to go 2 deep to start. We're going to go Latruska Malathot. And then I'm going 5 deep in that Jaipur. So the 5, 9, 10, 12, 13. And then singling Flightline. And then going 2 deep in the Manhattan. So just Gufo and Santine, 2, 9. And then with all those picks, it's a pretty light ticket. You could go 4 deep in the Belmont. You could get We the People, you could get Nest, you could get Mo Donegal, and then you could even throw in the one and only Barber Road. Get the Seahorse Barber Road on your ticket. I mean, that's a $40 pick 5 ticket. So hey, it's chalk. I think it's chalk on the dirt, and then well, not chalk. God bless you. I guess not chalk on the dirt with the Belmont. We want Barber Road to win now. We're Barber Road people now.
God, you can be a Barber Road guy. I will respectfully
and then
pass on.
If I single, Arrest Me Red, I could play the same ticket on the back end. And you know what I would do if I singled Arrest Me Red? I would go 2 deep over Arrest Me Red over Flightline. I might hit the all button in the Manhattan, and then see what happens on the Belmont after that.
I feel like
maybe
you'd rather hit the all button for the Belmont. So if you're live if like Gufo or Santine win, then just all in the Belmont, you can just kick back and relax and just hope for chaos.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
That's a hot strategy right there.
So we just fade Chad Brown at all costs on the turf.
Yeah, we hammered Chad early in the day and on Friday in his Philly races. Fade him later in the day.
Fade him. Okay. Fade him later. All right.
All right. Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Any other final thoughts on the Belmont card this weekend?
Yeah, I got one more. Jack Christopher. I tried to beat him with Papa Cap on the Kentucky Derby Day and the Pat Day Mile. Both of them return in the Woody Stevens. Start off the pick 6. So you know what I'm going to do, Mike? I didn't learn my lesson. I'm going to go and do it again. Papa Cap beats Jack Christopher. This time he's on the outside. Last time Papa Cap was on the inside, and he had to set the pace. And Jack Christopher got the easy, trip right off him, ran by him. I think this time the roles are flipped. Jack Christopher's on the inside. Papa Cap sits outside, puts some pressure on him. And that's how you start a real pick 6. Papa Cap is starting out at 10-1 odds, and he got second place behind him last time. They're cutting back another furlong in distance from a mile to 7 furlongs now. I would say I'm going to single Papa Cap in a thin, pick 6 ticket. And if he hits, and I'll probably play a win place bet on him too, get some bankroll going into the pick 5.
All right. Sounds good. Well, good luck, everyone. We'll follow along on Twitter @HorseGuyMike. Good luck, and may the juleps be with you.